Shalom Avrocha, Ahuvai Verayai, and a good Erev Shabbos Kodesh. Just this past week, and the Jewish home, there was a brief story about the following. For almost 40 years, an Australian man has been playing the lotto with the same exact set of numbers. And this year, his consistency, his patience and perseverance bore fruit, and he won a lottery jackpot of more than $300,000. I've been waiting for this moment for many years, the winner said. I think I've been marking my entries with those numbers for almost 40 years now. And this is just amazing. I am over the moon. The ticket turned out to be worth a total of $341,507. The man and his wife had just recently retired, so the win was more than fortuitous. We will probably look at buying the home we've always dreamed of living in. He said that would be incredible, and when things start to go back to normal, I think there would definitely be a holiday or two. You know what they say, better late than never. 40 years, this Australian individual played the lotto with the same exact set of numbers, and after patiently waiting for 4 decades, finally the day arrived and he won. Imagine the glee, the joy, and the sheer exhilaration that filled him and his family. It was 40 years in the making. Just recently as well, we all know Elon Musk, the CEO and founder of Tesla car company, the CEO as well of SpaceX, in conjunction with Naso, sending 2 astronauts to the International Space Station. A big moment for Trump, for the United States of America. Sending 2 men after such a hiatus, sending them back up to space. They interviewed Elon Musk and they said, so tell us, share us some of your emotions that are swelling within you right now. And he was rendered speechless. Elon Musk, who is known and not for being ever reticent, was rendered speechless, and they said, how come you can't say anything? He says, I waited 18 years for this moment. I waited patiently, but he persevered. And 18 years of waiting patiently, day after day, month after month, attempt after failed attempt. And finally, he is successful. With a moment for America. Again, we're not getting into whether this is good for the Jewish people, how beneficial for the Yidden, for Klal, but Lamaisa, a nice moment for Donald Trump, a nice moment in the limelight for the United States of America. And it took 18 years to get to that point in time. 18 years of waiting ever so patiently. Because good things come to those who have that midah of savlonos. Savlonos in the sense of the denotation of tolerance, of patience, patience for others, and of course patience in terms of time. Knowing how to wait, knowing how to be patient and to persevere as we are being tested. All of Klal Yisrael, indeed the world over, have to be patient within the context of a predicament, an ordeal that has plagued us now for 3 months' time, a coronavirus shutting down so much of our lives, shutting down so many aspects of our existential beings. In the end of the day, how do we get through it? Waiting patiently, one day at a time. Quoting from one of my favorite books of quotes, it's been a while. If ignorance is bliss, why aren't there so many more happy people? And on page 232, the authors write, quoting Ralph Waldo Emerson, adopt the pace of nature, her secret is patience. Margaret Deland, you cannot have genius without patience. And Thomas Edison, one of the most famous inventors ever, everything comes to him who hustles while he waits. So yes, you got to move, and yes, he's a makdimim, but at the same time, you have to learn how to wait, how to be patient. Elon Musk, 18 years waiting for that moment. That Australian individual waiting 40 years for that moment. And finally, all his efforts at the end ultimately bore fruits. John Quincy Adams, famous politician, one of the first presidents of the United States. John Quincy Adams, patience and perseverance have a magical effect before which difficulties disappear and obstacles vanish. Patience and perseverance, my dear friends. How do you get through a coronavirus? How do you emerge ever healthy and hail from a COVID-19 pandemic? Secret ingredients right at the top of the list: patience and perseverance. As Nathan Sharansky shared with the world, asked how in the world did he make it through the prison and isolation and his quarantine day after day, year after year. He says, I didn't look. I didn't wait for that moment to come out. I just said, I'm going to take it one day at a time. How did he finally make it and emerge a sane individual? Because he took it one day at a time. He learned how to be patient. He learned how to persevere. Patience, my dear friends, that's what brings the ultimate sense of menucha. Rabbi Yitzchak Mivorki, on the Pasuk in Parshas Vayechi, in the context of the bracha, Isha to Yisachar, Yisachar the Masmid. Yisachar the Masmid, the Pasuk says, Yaakov turns to his son Yisachar, and he bestows upon him the blessing, Vayar Menucha Kitov, Aviyas Haaretz Kinaima, Vayet Shichmo Lisbo, Vayi Lamasoved. Explains the Verka Rebbe. Vayar Menucha Kitov. You want to see Menucha, you want to know peace and equanimity. You want to live a life of tranquility and serenity. A life that is replete with tov, with goodness. You know what the secret is? Vayet Shichmo Lisbo. Go ahead and tilt your shoulder down to be sovel, to be patient with others, to be patient in the context, in the realm of time. Learn how to be patient. Vayet Shichmo Lisbo. If you have savlonis, you know how to be patient with yourself, with others, then the ultimate result will be one of Vayar Menucha Kitov. And Lefianias Daiti, where do we find this lesson of Yitzhak Mivorki couched in the context of the bracha given to the quintessential Masman, Yisachar, the one who represents for all time what it means to become a Talmid Chacham, to sit Yomam V'Layla V'Agisa Yomam V'Layla. You know what that takes? Savlonis, patience. Everybody wants to go to sleep at night and to wake up the next morning the Vilna Gaon. How do you become a Vilna Gaon? How do you become a Chavetz Chaim? Patiently, one day at a time. As the Chavetz Chaim himself has told us, the secret to becoming, to evolving into an unbelievable Talmid Chacham is V'Hayu Advar Ma'ele Asher Nochi Mitzav Chayom. Don't look at it all the goals and all the things you have to finish and accomplish the rest of your life. Be ever patient and just look at Dvar Me'ila, the words on this page, on this daf of Daf Yomi, on this Mishnah Yomis and this Halacha Yomis. Take it one day at a time. Look at what I'm commanding you. Hayom today. Don't look beyond. Just be patient and count it one day at a time. That's the secret to success. The path to brilliance, the path to true accomplishment in life is through patience and perseverance. Many refer to this Shabbos, Parshas Naso, as the Shabbos after Shavuos. Different circles, we know everybody has a Shabbos Shufa, a Shabbos Hagodol, a Shabbos Chanukah, and the Frierdiker Bayana Rebbe, Mordechai Shlomo Freeman, Zechat Tzadik Levracha, I wondered aloud, why is it that so many the world over also refer to this Shabbos as the Shabbos after Shavuos? We never called the Shabbos after Pesach, and the Shabbos after Pesach, the Shabbos after Sukkot. He says there are many circles, they give this a name, miyuchad. This is called the Shabbos after Shavuos. Why? The Frierdiker Bayana Rebbe explained as follows. We go to the end of Maseches Chagiga Daf Chavav Amud Beis. And there the Gemara tells us that what would take place when you had the Ole HaRegel, those everybody would go up, B'shas Aliyah L'Regel, by the Regalim of Pesach, Shavuos, and Sukkos. Melami, the Gemara says, Shemag B'yano Somarin Haboli Ole Regalim Lechem upon him. The Kohanim would take the shulchan and they would take that hot, fresh bread and they would show it to all the Olei Regalim. They would show them the lechem upon the Yomer Lehem. Ruchi baschem lifnei amokim siluko kisiduro. Look how much you were beloved in front of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Look at the nace that He's doing for you. It's been a whole week from Shabbos to Shabbos. And you see that it's geschmack, the lechem upon him. It's still fresh, it's hot, it smells great, it looks and feels wonderful. It's still hot and fresh as if it was baked yesterday. And it was Mishabbos l'Shabbos. So explain the Bayana Rebbe. Rebbe. Pesach is a 7-day yontif. And Eretz Yisrael, Sukkot is a 7-day yontif. So everybody who came up, B'shas Aliyah L'Regel for Pesach and Sukkot, they got this treat, they got this vision of the Kohanim who were able to show them the Lechem upon him. Look at this Gewaldige miracle, a miracle that served to reinforce and to highlight Ruchi Baschem Lifnei Amokum, look how much Hashem loves you. So if you came up for the yontif of Pesach Shavuos, you got a Shabbos, you were able to see the miracle. But Shavuos, we know, is only one day. One day in Eretz Yisrael. So if you just came for one day and you weren't patient and you didn't stay through Shabbos, you wouldn't see the miracle. Explains the Vayana Rebbe. So the people who came up to Yerushalayim, not all of them stuck around for Shabbos to witness that miracle. And therefore they decided, you know what? It's Kedai to stick around. Shavuos is but one day. It's Kedai to stick around the whole week for the Shabbos after Shavuos to see this Gewaldige miracle serving to highlight Ruchi Baschem Lifnei Amakom. Since so many took upon their own volition to stay that extra Shabbos, it will forever be known as the Shabbos after Shavuos. What's so special? You bet it's special, because really we came up for one day, we came up for a Shavuos, and it was Kedai to stick around. Why? To see Chibaschem Lifnei Amakom. But only those who were patient, only those who patiently waited it out another 6 days, or depending when Shabbos occurred in a given year, but they had to wait ever so patiently. But to see the wondrous sight, that's the Shabbos after Shavuos, my friends. Famous story of the Ani who was invited to a Pesach Seder for the very first time. And he comes in, what happens at the Pesach Seder? He gets so excited. He's ready, he's psyched for a Gewaldige meal. And he sits down, and what happens after Lachmanya? Okay, I'm sorry, now it's the Manishtana. And then we begin the Magen, and it's going on and on. He said, this is what I came for. I came for a Ganza Suda, Festa Banquet. This is what I came for. And then finally, he sees the food, the matzah, so big uncovered, and they go out to wash, and it comes to matzah. He's like, okay, lechem in the beginning of the meal, and after the matzah, more, what's going on here? And after the more matzah, that's what I gave for matzah more. He says, Adkan, that's it. What do I get? A little karpus, and that's it. I get matzah more, forget it, and he runs out. Meanwhile, this friend who ate by somebody else the next day comes to him in shul and says, Yaakov, tell me, how'd you like the Suda? He says, Suda, what Suda? I just had a little bit of radish, potato for karpas, and then I had matzah. He says, but you weren't patient. You didn't stick around. And you said, Shulchan Aruch to wait around for. Because sometimes things that were patiently awaiting, patience and perseverance, and those are the greatest things in life. And how much we can accomplish with this midah of savlonis. And the Kisvei Rav Zundel Salant is a letter of Chaim Volozhin. And the Rosh Yeshiva, the Volozhin of Yeshiva, writes the following choice terminology. Al yedei midas ha-savlonis masik adam ratzoino yoser v'yoser me'al yedei kol tekifa sheba'olam. Writes a Chaim Volozhin, if you can tap into the power and the potency of the midah of savlonis, of patience, of tolerance, of perseverance, day after day, you'll accomplish more in life than all the things you force through in this world. Savlonis, they asked to Chaim Kanievsky. When Rebbetzin Batsheva asked her when she was niftarah, she passed away. And they asked at the Shiva, they said, Abba, tell us, Chaim, what was her greatest mila, her greatest midah? And right away, take it from Yad, instantly Chaim said, midas hasavlonis. Her patience not only in time, but her patience primarily with other people, savlonis, tolerance, perseverance, day after day, person after person. That midah of savlonis, that was her ticket to galus, and that was her ticket to greatness, knowing how to be patient. Somebody was davening in the minyan of the Chazon Ish. And while davening in the minyan of the Chazon Ish, his young child davening alongside him began to misbehave, and he was being mafriya, he was staring his davening. And the father tried to calm him down, but then time after time, yet again, he lost his patience, he lost his cool, and he lashed out at his son, and he screamed at him in a burst of anger, and he said, stop it already, Ruvain, stop it, you got to be quiet. And everybody turned around. And the Chazon Ish waited until after davening, and the Chazon Ish called him over. And he says, your son learned two things from you during this davening. He learned that you should never be mafriya, never stare and interrupt someone in the middle of his davening. But he also learned that his father cannot control his anger. He also learned that his father doesn't have patience with him. And let me tell you, my dear friend, continued the Chazon Ish, it's kedai, it's worthwhile to be mavater, to give up the lesson of not to be mafriya b'shas hatfilah, to make sure that he understands the lesson of controlling one's anger and being ever patient. That is the Ikar Maila. Rabbi Yechiel Mechastern shares a story of Rabbi Simcha Zelig. Simcha Zelig, the renowned Dayan from Brisk, was once being escorted back to his home from the Beis Medrash by a Talmud, and another youngster came along and he said, Rabbi, I want to know, am I going to marry? Am I going to get married one day? Am I going to get married to a nice Jewish girl, someone who was a little bit off? And Rav Simcha Zelig said, yes, you will. I'm telling you, you will. I said, thank you, Rabbi, you made me so happy. A few minutes later, it came by again, the same question. Am I going to get married to a nice Jewish girl one day? And again, ever so patiently, Nachamol, the same thing. And the scene repeated itself every 4 or 5 minutes. The person ran over. And then finally he followed the individual escorting Rav Simcha Zelig into the house. And even when they came into the house, still he entered and followed the Dayan, the brisk Dayan, into the house. And he said, Rabbi, am I going to get married to a Jew? And he said, yes. And he said, thank you for making me so happy. And the Bocher who was escorting said, how could you do this? And the family said, you're surprised? He said, Tati, tell him. He said, it's Poshet. The Torah tells us you have to be a Savlan. Torah tells us we have to have midas savlonis. Tells us lo yeh adam rach kekone Mishnah Perkei Avos. And we have to go ahead and demonstrate what Hillel taught us, Shabbos Lamed Aleph, the patience that he had with even a non-Jew, patience to have with every single human being. Let me make him feel good. Let me give him the simcha. Patience, my friends, patience with time, patience with others. Midas savlonis, as we said, Rosh Shlomo Zalman Auerbach, ever destitute, he couldn't give his kala savlonis, the Sugan Kedushin, he couldn't give her presents, but he told his dear kala, don't worry, my sweet stir, my sweetheart, I'll give you the greatest gift in the world. I can't give you savlonis gifts and presents, but I can give you the greatest present, and that's my midah of savlonis that I've worked years on. Patience. See, here we are in the midst of a pandemic, hoping that with Siyata D'Shmaya, it's gradually waning. It's gradually leaving us. We hope there won't be a resurgence. We daven Yom V'Layla, that everyone should be safe, secure, hale, and healthy. But we know that a lot of Gedolei Olam, a lot of Bali Mus, everyone's telling us Kabbalahs, we have to take on Kabbalahs. And indeed we have to take on Kabbalahs, but we have to keep in mind the following, an important point by one of the Gedolei Bali Mus in the generation of Tamamuvak of Rav Oba Zatzal, of Rav Ruvain Leichter, who wrote so beautifully in Mishpacha magazine recently, how careful we have to be with rushing to take on Kabbalah after Kabbalah. And Rav Ruben Leichter writes that it's common for people, good growing people, to react to striking events like our current pandemic by committing to specific resolutions or upgrades in their performance of mitzvahs. While that is commendable, it also comes with a risk. As well-meaning as the quick Kabbalah may be, sometimes it actually blocks us from true change. The immediate urge to find some quick, concrete way to upgrade our Avodas Hashem often skips a crucial stage of really listening and really opening our inner selves. Quoting the Pasuk from Shmuel, heeding Hashem's voice is better than bringing sacrifices. The ability to hear takes priority even over sacrifices. That is, even over religious acts that are objectively positive. One must know how to take the necessary time to hear and absorb the message correctly before running to the altar with an offering of fatted calves. In the end of the day, Rav Ruben Leichter is teaching us Kabbalahs are great, they're essential, and yes, indeed, they are commendable. And we have to take on Kabbalahs as a community, as a shul, and most certainly as individuals. Each and every human being, we know what we have to work on, what we have to be masakein and hone and rectify. But we can't lose sight that don't rush to take on this Kabbalah and think, oh, I got the quick fix. It's all good to go. Because real success, not only in life, in Avodas Hashem, is success when there's a cheshbon, when it's done with patience and perseverance, with a calculation, when you learn to take the time and to glean the important messages and to listen, to tilt and to be sovel, and to say, what does Hashem want? Let me carry the burden, carry the weight. Let me count the days and be patient one day at a time. What do I need to do today? What is my objective right here, my mission of today? What do I have to do today, right now? I have to be patient. One day at a time. I don't rush to take on every Kabbalah. I have to think things through. Always with a cheshbon and nefesh. And learning how to be patient and perseverance, then in a more calculated way. You can take on the right Kabbalahs at the right time. But in life, it's got to be what? It's got to be midas hasavlonis. That's what made the truly greats. Whether Rebbe Kanevsky, Rebbe Simcha Zelig, the dying from Isla Chazanish. Patience, patience, patience. Say yes, all day long people asking me, Rabbi, when are we going to get out of this? And the riots and the pandemics and everything that's going on in society. And day after day and the fear after fear. Rabbi say, keep davening, keep working on yourselves every night in honest, sincere cheshbon and nefesh. And know how to take it one day at a time. What's my job today? What do I have to do today? Don't even think about tomorrow. How is my davening, my learning, my avodas Hashem, and my chesed and masam tovim right here and right now? On this given day, patiently, one day at a time, and perseverance, Hashem, I'll endure, I will persevere with Siyata D'Shmaya. Count the eye, but when's it going to end? What's going to be with camps? What's going to be with the school year? I'll leave that up to the Ribono Shalom, my dear friends. Rabbi say, I'll let God run His world. The secret to success as an Even Neman is be ever patient. And with that we close. Chaim Brisker said, why is it that Chazal recorded all the complaints as we see in the Torah given to Moshe Rabbeinu? And Chazal elaborate throughout Shas, throughout the Midrashim. Chazal always elaborating, look how the people mistreated Moshe Rabbeinu. Why spend so much time on that? Explain Chaim Brisker. To teach us the godliness of the savlonis of Moshe Rabbeinu, the greatest of all Nevi'im, the greatest of all people. The godless, his ticket to greatness, explain what Chaim Soloveitchik was. Look how big of a savlon he was for everybody. How patient one day at a time, my dear friends. Live a life of patience and perseverance. Take it one day at a time. And the light at the end of the tunnel, God will show us in the right time, and the right time is going to be soon. We've been patiently awaiting Amos Mashiach. Hashem Yisbarach, we're not forcing your hand, Kavayochel, no. We're pining, we're yearning endlessly, we're letting you know we want it, but we trust you one day at a time, you're going to bring it to us. And the right time, Klal, so you've been patient for 2,000 plus years. Be patient a little bit longer, and don't worry, it's coming, and it's coming mighty soon. Have an awesome Shabbos after Shavuos. Hashem Yisbarach will wait. We'll take it one day at a time. Love you, miss you. Have an awesome Shabbos.